Endless Hustle is presented by Victory Brewing Company and the Victory Monkeys. Check out Golden Monkey, a smooth 9.5% Belgian triple with notes of banana and cloves. Sour beers more your thing? Pucker up with Sour Monkey, a 9.5% sour triple with fruity notes from imported Belgian yeast. Delicious 9.5% ABV beers that don't taste like 9.5% beers? The Victory Monkeys just hit different. Check out the Victory Monkeys at victorybeer.com to find Golden Monkey and Sour Monkey at retailers near you. I've got the great Keith David joining me on the Endless Hustle. Keith, you were like crazy busy. It's funny. I was thinking about it. Is this probably the busiest point of your career? You've had an unbelievable career, but is this the busiest point?
Well, I got to say, uh, it hasn't stopped, and I've been, really mad busy. And busy is good. That song, "One Monkey Don't Stop No Show." One and well, even several bouts of COVID don't stop no show. Um, I don't think it's I don't think it's necessarily going away soon. So we have to find a way to move through it with some grace. And I think that for the most part we have been.
The new project is Creepshow 2. You're in the horror film game. I love it. Horror genre. Tell me all about Creepshow 2.
Well, I had a great time. The first iteration was, the very first one was actually wonderful. I mean, if you're into horror stuff and you like to be scared, creeped out, um, this is the place to be. I happen to love my particular episode because I love those opportunities when I get to like play the devil. You get to be because I remember being told as a kid that if the devil were to appear before you, he would appear in such beautiful raiment that you couldn't resist it. And one things I like about this, in keeping with that, how these stories, are different versions of that because you get wooed by so many different things. Sometimes she looks like a beautiful woman. Sometimes she looks like money. Sometimes she looks like, that thing you think you've always wanted. Whatever, however it appears, there's always that little shiny thing being flashed in front of you, and we're like, fish to just go, you know.
You've been a part of so many iconic projects. What was the project that, if you were to put money on it, you never thought would become a hit that ended up becoming a hit?
Wow. Hmm. Well, I have to say when we did Platoon, I knew it was special because uh, it was such an ensemble piece, and there were so many really wonderful actors. Uh, there was a great story. We got to be immersive in a way that at that point in my career I had no idea. I mean, I'd never, you know, when I was doing a play, I could, go to the gym and work out, if I was playing a part that really demanded rigorous stamina, I could go and do that. But to actually be in the environment. Now, I believe Tom Berenger, he said he knew that this was going to be something else. I think Willem might have had some idea that we all knew that it was a special project. It was different. It was other than the normal fare that we usually get to do. But who knew that it would have resounded in the way it has and be as resonant as it still is?
You're obviously from Harlem, New York. I'm a New York transplant now from Philly
Uh-huh.
originally, but
Okay.
New York is a city unlike any other, and it can transform us both personally and professionally. So, for you, what role did New York play in your life? How did it help influence you both personally and professionally?
Well, it's like the song says, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Because you know, New York gets a bad rep as far as people being unfriendly and all that kind. They they say that kind of stuff. But actually, I find New Yorkers are certainly no more unfriendly than anywhere else. If you need directions, somebody will give you directions. Some people may flip you off, but that could happen anywhere. Um, Really, I mean, I have always found in New York, if you approach people respectfully, most of the time you will get a respectful response. Not always, but you don't know what kind of mood somebody is in, and that is something that exists everywhere, in every city, in every country in the world. You'll get somebody who is very nice to you, and you'll get other people who are just not. But my being reared in New York, I'd come across all kinds of attitudes. So it's like you can't really pull one over on me in that sense. You know what I mean? I can deal with your attitude no matter how crappy it gets.
There was a great profile in the New Yorker on Jeremy Strong that just came out. He plays Kendall Roy on Succession, arguably the best acting being done on TV right now. And in it, he talks about living in this kind of bohemian little tiny apartment in New York when he first came as a kind of unemployed actor. And then I was also just watching Tick, Tick, Boom, the movie about Jonathan Larson, who obviously created Rent. And much of it really shows his artist life in this, crappy little place in Greenwich Village. And it made me think, when you're an artist in New York, the struggle you have to go through before you actually break through and make it. What was that moment for you, Keith? What was that moment of struggle in New York as you were molding yourself as an artist, where you kind of looked around and were still deciding, am I going to actually make it? Am I going to have a career in this business?
I've wanted to be an actor my whole life. And I mean, I don't know if I always knew and embraced, but I did learn pretty early in life, but especially in this business. Nobody promised you anything. You know, uh, as an artist, um, I do this because I love it. I do this because I'm compelled, because I'm called to do it. But no one ever said you were going to make any money. I remember one of my teachers said, you may not, you may never become a millionaire, but if you work hard, you can be in the theater and make a living enough to be able to buy yourself some popcorn every once in a while, and maybe take a trip somewhere. But you may not necessarily be rich. That's the exception and not the rule. Uh, I think that we get fooled by all the magazines and all this stuff that and now magazine shows, we read about the stars and how much money they make, how much money they, how what kind of extravagant lifestyles they live, and everybody gets fooled into thinking that just because you're on TV, that means that you're super rich. That's really not true. The life of the life of an actor, an art, certainly actor as artist, and there is a distinction. Um, because there's a big difference between an actor and a movie star. And I mean, if you get an opportunity to be a movie star, you can make lots of money. Sometimes you can make lots of money for a long time. Does that necessarily make you an actor? We can have a longer conversation about that. But actors act. Actors, do the theater. Actors travel the country doing the theater. Actors go around the world doing theater. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be a millionaire. So I mean, I love to work, and I feel blessed and highly favored that I work most of the time, and sometimes I make a little money, which is even great. Which is all the better.
Keith, congratulations. Creepshow 2 is on its way out. Thanks for a fabulous chat, my man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Have a great night. Take care.